Hi everyone, Nicholas Buffett is here from sunny Cyprus. And if you're watching this video, it probably means you've been given some homework to do, a project on HTML. Essentially, you have to create a web page, or if you're going to go a little bit further, a little bit more advanced, you're going to create a website. And that's essentially when you have more than one web page. And this video is designed to assist you and help you to complete that homework. Okay, so all the material that I'm going to cover in here and all the resources that I'm going to show in this video are basically resources and information that you should have had access to in class. But if you missed the lesson or you need some extra help, this is the video to go to, so I can assist you and help you so you can complete your homework. Now, the resources, like the files I'm going to be using, you've probably been given already. Your topic for your web page, you've probably been given already, or you've either had to decide on a topic, or you've been given a topic that you have to create a web page or a website on. So I'm also going to give you some tips right at the very beginning of this video on setting up Windows, your operating system, so that it makes life a little bit easier for you when you have to see what extension file types you're using, and so that you can change the extension file types. So this is a complete video for you to be able to do your homework. So no excuses. All right, let's get started. Okay, our very first step is to create a folder, and in this folder we're going to add all of the files and all the resources we need for our web page. Everything has to go inside one folder. So from my desktop, I'm going to create it on my desktop. I'm going to right click, new folder. From here, I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it np web. That's just my initials, and this is my web page. Now I'm going to open my folder. Just drag that over here. Here's my folder. And in this folder, what I'm going to do is essentially, I'm just going to create my first web page. Now, because we're going to be using only the text editor, I'm going to right click, go to new, and from here, I'm going to say a text document, and that's going to create my text document. I'm going to call this index. It doesn't have to be index, but it's good practice for your web page to be called index. You know which one is your first page. Now, you can see here that if I click away now and press enter, you can see that my file displays two things. It has the name, the index file name, and then it's got this .txt. That's the extension of the file, and you need to be able to see that extension. So if you cannot see that extension, you're going to do the following. You're going to go down, you're going to click on this little Windows icon in the bottom left corner, or wherever your Windows icon is, and you're going to type File, Explore, and that's what you're looking for, Explorer Options. So we're looking for File Explorer Options. Click on that, and you should see a window that pops up like this. Now, from here at the top, we've got three tabs. We're going to click on the View tab. In the View tab, you're going to scroll down, and you should be able to see this one here, Hide Extensions for Known File Types. That should not be ticked. If I tick that and click OK, right now, can you see this index file here? I cannot see the extension anymore. So I'm just going to bring that back. File Explorer Options. Just bring that up here. Go to the View tab, and I need to remove that tick. Okay, and now I've got access to my extensions. Why do I want the access to the extensions? Because I want to make this a web page. So I'm just going to click one time and then click again, or you could right click, rename, and remove the txt, not the dot, and type HTML. Press enter. You're going to get a warning message. You're going to click on yes, and there you go. You now have a file, a HTML file. And if I double click on this now, it's going to open up my browser. There it is. And there's my browser. There it is, index.html, and it's blank. It's blank because there's nothing in there. So our next step is to put the basic information, the basic structure, the HTML code for a web page. Now, in the assignment you've been given, or at some point in the file section of your Teams or somewhere, your teacher should have given you a document like this. This document is all about web pages. It's got what a web page is, good practices of a web page. Let me just zoom that in. And as you scroll down, we see things to avoid in a good web page. So that's just informative. And now we go to the structure of HTML encoding. And essentially here we see the bare bones of what a web page should have. Its structure with explanations. the HTML tag, what it does, the head tag, what it does, the title tag, and the body tag. The body tag essentially is where we put the entire contents of our web page. And every tag you will see, when we open a tag, we always close it by using that switch, that backslash there, and then the tag name. So that's where it opens and that's where it closes. So to make it easier in this document, I've got this one here for you. Here is a starting point. So you could just copy this directly into your document, which you've already created. So I'm just going to select this. I'm going to right click, copy, and I'm now going to go to my index.html. Now, this is where we were before. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to reduce the size of this. I'm going to do this, all of this in one screen. So I'm not going to use multiple screens because you're probably using one screen. I'm going to right click on this, open with, and choose another app. So if you don't see Notepad there, choose another app. And then from here, if you scroll down, you should see Notepad. Okay. And I'm just going to say always, because I always want to, well, actually, I'm just going to click on just once. Otherwise, whenever I double click on the HTML file instead of opening the browser, it's going to open the Notepad. So I'm just going to say just once. And here is, let me just drag this up. There is my Notepad. So I'm just going to bring that over here like that. Okay, so essentially now, this is my Explorer, that one there. And this is the contents of that. In fact, I'm going to use the predefined settings here of Windows. I'm going to click on that, that, and that. There you go. So I've split my screen into three nice little sections. This is my editor. So I'm going to click in here and paste what I copied before. And can you see that there? It's given me the structure of the web page. So I'm going to go to File, Save. And now when I reload, there you go. Your website info goes here. So I've already got something in there. And that's that piece of information there. That's what I can actually see in there because that's what's between the body tags, the open body and the closed body. So anything I type in here, if I just type here, hello, and then I go File, Save, and now I reload my browser, you can see there's the word hello. All right, so the first step is we're going to give your web page a title. So where it says enter your website title here, I'm just going to click on that and I'm going to give it the title. So here you will put whatever topic your website is about. Mine is going to be AI in education. I'm going to go File, Save. And although you can't see the title in the web page because it's not part of the body tag, it is important to have that information in there. All right, the next step that we're going to do is we need to understand or decide for ourselves what structure we're going to have for our web page. Okay, so I'm going to do that now with you. Okay, so I'm going to use my Word document here, and I'm just going to use the drawing abilities or the inking ability here just to draw the outline of what my web page is going to look like. This is going to represent the borders of my browser window. Okay, I know my inking isn't that good. And in my browser window, I'm going to have a heading, let's say, or a title at the top. Probably bigger writing, maybe underlined. This is just a rough diagram. And then I'm going to use a table. Now, you have to use tables as part of your assessment. Okay. Now, this table is going to be approximately, I'm going to say 80% of the window size. So whatever my browser window is, it's going to be 80% of that. Now, the next thing is at the top, my first row is going to hold information like an introduction. So I'm just going to put here intro. Then underneath, I'm going to have like a little menu. So I'm going to have this separated into, let's say, 3 sections. And that's going to have, for example, I don't know, say a contact. Well, that will take me to a page with contact. Then I've got a page which is more info, let's say. I'm going to have here, for example, I've got contact, more info. I'm just going to put here resources. So the idea is you'll be able to click on these and it will take you to resources. It will take you to more info about AI. And this one will give you a page about contacting me. Underneath that, I'm going to have two pictures. Pick one. pick 2, and here there'll be some data. For example, this will be about AI in a school, and this will be AI at work. Okay, and this thing here is going to be, the picture is going to be approximately, I don't know, or not approximately, I'm going to say it's about 30, say 20% of the table. Okay, so that's basically a rough structure of what I want to design. And you need this. Why? Well, before you can actually start doing anything, you're going to need to go and find this information, the text. You're going to have to do your research and get the information you're going to put in for your introduction. Then you're going to need to go and find the pictures, picture 1 and picture 2. You're going to need to save those in your folder. And then you're going to need to find the information that you want to add in this section here, and then the information you want to add in this section here. Now, I'm not saying you have to use this structure. Ideally, you want to use your own structure. But if I'm the student and I want to do my homework, then I need to go and find all this information really before I start creating my web page. So I'm going to be doing it while I'm generating my web page. But what's really important is I know what I want my web page to look like. And that's really important because I need to design this table in my web page. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and I'm going to start with my title. Now, in this Word document that you've got, if I scroll up to show you the rest of it, okay, so this is the document that we're using. This is what we use to start off our web page, okay, and we put our title in here. And once you go down, you see all of these tags here in that first column. These are all different tags that you can use. Okay, you've got the heading tags. You've done these already as classwork. The heading tags will make the text bigger or smaller. You can change things like the color of the font. You can center align things. You can add a break line. You can add underlines. You can add horizontal rules. And there's so many different things here that you can use. This one, for example, if you want to add an image, there you go. And I'm going to be using these. So you need to refer to this so you can go and add these tags to your web page. Okay. Okay, now then, let's continue with our web page. So I'm just going to minimize that. And then the first thing that I'm going to do is, here's my browser, my text editor here. I'm going to start creating my table. So my web page. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write my title. Now my title is going to be, let me just zoom that in a little bit more to make it easier for you guys to see. So I'm just going to make that one a bit smaller. There you go. Okay, just zoom that in a bit. There. And my title is going to be AI in school and at work. That's my title. So if I just save that, I'm just going to do Control S to save or file save. I reload this. And this is the beautiful thing now, because I've got everything in one window. As soon as I do something, I can check it in the browser to see what it looks like. There's my title. I want to make it bigger. So I'm going to use, and if you look over here, I can make something bigger using the heading tags. So heading 1, that's heading 1. That's nice and big. So that's what I'm going to do. So left and right of that, I'm going to put the H1, open the tag, H1, close the tag. And over here, I'm going to close that tag with a switch, H1. And that basically means that anything between that H1 tag is a large font. Save, reload, there you go. The next thing I want to do, I want to put this in the middle of my window. So again, left and right of that, it doesn't matter whether you put it here or here. I'm just going to put it there. Center, and we spell center using American spelling. And then close the center there. So anything between these 2 points is center aligned. Again, Control S to save. I'm going to reload. There you go. That's aligned to the center of my page. So I've got my title. And if you want to go have a look at some other things that you can put here, like changing the color of the text, making it underline, and this, by all means, do that. That's extra credit. Okay, after that, I want to put my table. So we can see here that my table, now we've done exercises in tables already, but if we just go and see what table I want to do, I want this table here. There it is there. So in total, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 columns. So I need 3 columns to create this structure. And we can see that I'm going to be working with this first row. So that's the first row. The first row it merges three columns together. So I'm going to start with my table, and I have in this document for you as well. So if you're not sure how to do your table, if you scroll again to the bottom of this document, you can see I've got different table examples for you. Can you see? So this table here is a table without any cells merged. This table here has that top row merged, and you can see here I'm using the col span. It's spanning over two columns, and here I'm doing a row span. Here I've got another example for you, okay, using the width of the table, making it 600, and another example here with row span and col span. So you can use these here to decide on what structure you want to create. So I want to do that first one there, and that first one is going to be like this. So my table begins, if we're looking at this, there it is. My table always begins with a table tag. Okay, let's go to the very basic one first. So it's a table tag. You don't need the T-body. You can put it if you want to, but I'm just going to put the table. So from here, I'm just going to open and I'm going to say table. And I know at some point down here, I need to close that table. So I'm going to put it in there from now. And in between, I'm going to put the different things that I want. Now, the first one is it's going to be a row. So I need to start a new row, TR, and I'm going to close that row here. And in between the rows, I'm going to put my table data, or those TDs. So the first one we said that first TD spans across three columns. So that's going to be TD col span equals to speech marks 3. And again, you've got the samples I've given you. You can copy that. Then I'm just going to put in here, what is it that I'm going to type in there? Well, that's going to be my intro. Okay, so I'm just going to put this information in there for now. And then I can replace that with whatever my intro is going to be. And I can close my TD. Now, you should have done this already. Now, if I do a Control S to save and reload, there you go. There's the intro there. Now, I can't see the borders of my table. So what I'm going to do in here where I've got the table tag, I'm just going to put border equals to 1. And now if I do Control S to save and reload that, I can now see that border there. Okay, now as I start building it, it's going to get wider and wider. You're going to see that now. So that's that was which part? Let's have a look. So that was my introduction there. Then my next row or my next TD is this one here. I want that to have the second row 3 TDs. Okay, so we're going to do that now. So down here, my next row, so I'm going to start my next row, TR, then close the TR. Always remember to close them. I prefer doing it this way. It's entirely up to you how you program this. So then I'm just going to go to here and I'm going to put TD and close the TD. Now, in between here, I'm going to put my data. So we said the other one was resources. That's what we said was going to be in there. So if I do a quick, and then my next TD, we said was going to be, what was it? More info. And then my next TD, so you can see you can use copy paste when you're doing things which are repetitive. Contact me, I'm going to put. All right, let's do a quick save. Control S to save and reload. And there we go. You can see my table is now building up slowly. So let's go and continue the rest of the structure. The next structure is going to be down here. I want here, the first one is going to be a TD, that one there, my first pick. And then the next one, I'm going to span across 2 columns, that one there, okay? So that's going to be col span 2. So I'm just going to copy paste this one here, Control C, and I'm going to paste that there. And I know my first one is just going to be a TD, so I'm just going to put that here, TD, and then close the TD. And then in between, I'm going to put pick 1. So this is just a placeholder so that I know that's where I'm going to put my picture. And then I want col span 2. And I'm going to put here, what was it? AI in schools. And then I'm going to repeat this again. Let me just increase the indent of the TD so it's easier to read. It just makes it easier for you to understand where the rows begin and where they end, and where the table datas begin and where they end. There you go. Okay, and then I'm going to put my next one is exactly the same, Control C. I'm going to put that one there. This is going to be picture 2, and this is going to be AI at work. Okay, so file save or Control S, it's up to you. Now I reload this, and there's my table. Okay, so I've created my table. Everything looks good. It looks a bit silly squashed on the left-hand side. So one thing I could do, remember, I want to make this 80% of my window. So going back up to where my table tag is here, and I've got the border, I'm just going to type width equals to speech marks 80%. Close the speech marks. All right, and let's do Control S or file save and reload. There you go. And you can see this is taking up 80% of my window. This is 20% and that's 80%. Now I want this in the middle. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add to that. So where I've got the table, the width 80% and border 1, I'm also going to put align equals speech marks center. Remember, the center is American. File save. And I'm going to reload that. And there you go. Everything's nice aligned. Now you can say, well, how are you supposed to know all this information? Remember, you've got this document here. And this document gives you everything that you need. So here are all the tags. Here's the center tag at the top. There it is there. And it shows you that that will align. Wherever you use the open and close center, it will align it to the middle. Okay, so I've created that. And right now, what I need to do is to go and get that information and throw it in there. Okay, so that's the next step. I need to go and find the information that I've got for my intro, find the information I'm going to put for AI in schools, and find the information that I'm going to use for AI at work and my pictures. And once I've got that, I'll be able to modify this. Okay, let's go do that quickly. Okay, I'm going to be using the internet to get things like pictures and also some resources. The idea is that you guys, you're going to have to do some investigation. You're going to have to do a little bit of reading, a little bit of understanding about your topic and put things in your own words. Can you use the internet? Of course you can. Can you use AI like ChatGPT? Well, in most circumstances, of course you can. But the idea is not that you're going to copy something and paste it and say it's yours. You can use it to get information, to get ideas, but then you have to read it, understand it, and then write it in your own words. Don't use phrases and words and things that you don't understand, because then it's blatantly obvious that you did not write it. Okay, so let's get some pictures first of all. So from here, I'm just going to open another tab, and I'm just going to write here AI in schools. I'm going to go to the images, and from here, what I want to do, I want to show you the type of images that you want to be looking for. Now, if I right click on this image and I do save image as, we can see here that's a JPEG. It's a file type JPEG. A JPG is also good, and PNG is also good. There are other ones as well. Let me save image as. Let's see what this one gives me. This is also a JPG. If I click on this and open this actually, and right click on that, save image as. There you go. Can you see this is an AVIF file? You can't use that in your web page. All right. So directly from this thumbnail, if I right click on that, save image as, make sure you go to your folder where you've got everything else inside. Okay. Now this is empty because I don't have any pictures in there. It's only showing me all the resources, the files I have in this folder, which are pictures. So I'm just going to give this a proper name, and the name I'm going to give it is AI space school. Okay, and save. And a good name, can you see here it is here? Can you see it's actually already saved it in my folder with everything else. Now I'm going to find the AI at work. So these are the images that I want to use. Oh, this one's a good one. So I'm going to right click on that, save image as, and yes, it's a JPEG. I'm going to call that AI work. Giving your images good names will just help you find your images so much faster, and it makes building a website a lot easier. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add my picture. So where we've got the pick 1 and pick 2 here, we want to replace that with the pictures. So to do that, we've got our document and we've got the IMG source there. Where is it? We've got a picture here. It is here. This is the IMG and this is the code. So I'm just going to take all of this code here and just copy it. I'm going to explain it to you as well, but just to make it easier. So here's where I've got the words pick 1. Okay, and I want to replace that with the code for the picture. So the IMG source basically says the source of the image. Where is that image? And what is the name of the image? Well, I want the image is in the same place with my file. You can see index and my pictures are here. They're exactly in the same place. So, but the name of the file that I want, the picture is AI school. So I'm just going to change that to AI school. Let's just click in here. AI school dot, and you need the extension. And this is why we did at the beginning. I showed you how to put the extensions so you can see the extensions. You can see the extension is JPEG. So I have to put that JPEG. It says the width of the picture is 41 and the height is 41. It has a border of 0. And this is a text describing the image, the alternative text. And this is always good to add something useful there because it helps people which are visually impaired understand what your web page is about. So image of AI in a school. Now, if I just do file save and see what I've got here, let's see what that looks like. So, oh, why have I've still got the P there. So I've got a P in there somewhere. There you go. Can you see here? I need to get rid of that P. So Control S and reload. That picture's a little bit small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it from 41 to, let's say, 120 by 120. Okay, I'm going to Control S and reload. Yeah, that looks okay. Now, if you don't know the width and the height that you want, and you just want to adjust the width and leave the height adjust automatically for you, then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete the height from there. And if I do Control S now, reload, it's going to make it 120. And can you see now it's got the correct proportion? Before I made it into a square shape, so it deformed the picture. So it's entirely up to you how you do that. So for pic 2, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to copy this image source code there, Control C. I'm going to get rid of the text pic 2 and paste that there. So if I save that now and reload, I get the same picture 2 times. I'm going to replace that AI school picture with AI work. Control S and reload. And there we go. So I've got both pictures are exactly the same size, 120 pixels. Okay. All right. The next thing I want to do is, can you see that this thing here is taking up half of my table, the picture? So I want the cell to be a bit smaller, so around about 20-25%. So I want the TD, this TD here, to be 20% of my table, and the same with that one. So if we go here to the TD, and I can say here width equals to 20%. And now I Control S to save and reload. There you go. Can you see it adjusts both of them? And that looks a lot neater. All right, next step, I want to get the information that I want to add for my intro, AI in schools and AI at work. Here we go. Okay, in that short pause, which you didn't see, I just made another text file. It could be a Word document, could be anything. And inside here, I went and put some information about my introduction, what I want for the school section and what I want for the work section. So now I just need to copy paste this in the right place. So this introduction, I'm going to select Control C, and here is my index area here. So I want that to go over here where the introduction is. So where I use the words intro, and that is right here. Okay, so I want to replace that with intro. Replace the intro with that text. So I'm going to delete that and press Control V to paste. And there it is. So now if I go to File Save and reload, there's my text. Now I'm going to go to the one with my information about schools, Control C. And I want that where it says AI in schools. I want to leave the AI in schools as a heading. So I'm just going to go over here. So where I've got here AI in schools, I'm going to press enter there to leave a bit of space. And I want to break that line. So I'm just going to do a BR, and that's just a break. That breaks the line. So then I can press enter and I can paste that in. Okay, and let's see what that did. So what does that BR do before Control S? If I reload that, you can see it's left the AI in schools, and then it started a new line and put my text. Okay, and I'm just going to do the same for the other one as well. So can you see how important it is to have your information first? Okay, and then from here, there's the AI at work. Again, I'm going to put a break line, BR for break line, enter, paste, and Control S. And now when I reload, there's my page. Okay, so that was nice and quick. Now, I want this AI in schools and AI at work to be slightly bigger and bold. So over here, I'm going to go here where it says AI, just zoom that in a little bit more for you. So here it is, AI in schools. So I'm just going to click on that, put a H2 tag before, and let's close a H2 tag there. Okay, and let's see what that does. Control S. There you go. It makes it nice and bigger for me. And I'm going to do that down here as well for the AI at work. So left and right of that. Now, it's important to make sure you close these, because if you don't, that's what happens. It makes all the text that heading. So we need to say where that H2, where it's going to stop. And I want it to stop after the title. So stop, that switch, H2. Control S. Now, I know my site is a little bit boring, okay, but you can have a look at all of these tags here and just add things like color, horizontal lines, and this, that, just jazz it up. That will get you extra credit. Okay, so essentially that is my web page. I've created a web page, I've used a table, and I've done quite a bit there. Okay, so extra bonus. How do we get it? Well, again, one way is you can use more of these tags here, and just to show that you've looked at this and you've added some other things. So you can, for example, add a list. Okay, so if you copy this thing down here, the LI tags, you can add that from the menu, or you can use this one here, do an ordered list, and that's what that would look like. Okay, you could just use any of these, anything which I haven't shown you, and just add it to your web page. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a website, which means I'm going to create another web page, and I'm going to link to it. So that also will give you extra credit. So how do I create my other website? Well, here we go. I'm going to go to my files section up here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, new text document again, and I'm going to call this contact. So this is going to be the page with my contact information. Contact, if I spell it correctly, that is. There you go. And it's a TXT. So again, I'm going to make that HTML, enter and enter. I'm going to right click on this. I'm going to open with, and I'm going to choose Notepad. There it is. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create another web page very, very quickly. So I'm going to go to my Word document, go to this initial part here, just copy that. This is just the very basic structure. Give this a title, contact. And here I'm going to say contact me. Contact me. I'm going to make that a heading 1. Control S to save. I'm going to double click on this to open that. There it is, contact me. Underneath, I'm going to put a very quick table, just a table, anything, just a one thing. Let's say I'm going to have my name on one side and my details on the other. So that's going to be table. We're going to start that with a table. We're going to close the table. And then I'm just going to put my first row, TR, and then close the first row. And in between, I'm going to put my TD. So that's where my table data goes. So the first one is going to be, I'm only going to have one row. That's it. So TD. And I'm going to write close that TD. It's always good to plan this out first. And then the one next to it, the column next to it is going to have my information. So TD. And it's going to be, let's say, email, colon, and baptidis at tjss.ac.cy. Then I'm going to break that line, BR. Go. So let's just see what that looks like. Let's just close that TD as well and see how that's looking. And I'm just going to put table border 1, border equals 1, just so that I can see the borders of my table. If I don't want to, I can remove them later. Let's just do a quick refresh. There we go. All right. So underneath the email where my break line is, I'm going to put, what should I put? School, the junior and senior school. And then I'm going to put the break line. Anyway, and you can continue like that. So if I just do Control S to save and reload that, there's my information. So how do I link the two? Okay, so from this page here, I need to be able to, let's just close that one. I need somewhere here on the content, I need to select this and make this a link that will open this page. Okay, so to do that, again, that's the A tag, and we're going to use a href. So we've got the A tag here, and the very first one, it's an anchor tag there, and it shows you this is a link that will take you to any website you want. All you have to do is just replace what you put in these speech marks with whatever you want. So let's just copy that, Control C. And I'm going to select I want here where it says contact me. Okay, so if I go to this page here, this is where I've got my contact me. There it is. Okay, I don't want that text. I'm going to get rid of that. Paste the code which I've got. So that says it's going to be an A tag. It's going to take me to this domain. I'm not going to change it yet. And the text is visit our site. Let's see what that looks like. Save, reload. Can you see it says visit our site, our site, and if I click on that, it will take you to a particular site. Okay, so what I want to do is to change this here, and I'm going to say instead of going to a site, I want it to go to my page, and my page here is this one here, contact.html, and it's in the same place, in the same folder with everything else. So I just need to type contact dot. Oops, let's just get rid of what, just leave the speech marks, contact.html, save that. If I run that, okay, I need to change the text, but if I click on that, there's my page. Okay, so instead of visit our site, I will put here, contact me. File save or Control S, and reload, and that now is a link. Okay. And if I want to go back from this page, I want a link to take me back. I'll do that one. That's the final thing I'm going to show you. Let's say at the end of the table, that's where the table ends. I'm going to go and add that other A tag again. There it is there. And this time, instead of that one, I want it to go to index.html. That's what I called my first page. And I can go say, go to home page, go to home page. Save and reload, and now I can click on that. That will take me back, that will take me forward. Okay, so guys, that's absolutely everything you need to ace this project. All you need is just to take a little bit of time to understand and study what it is that your topic is going to be about. Get that information, save your files. Remember, everything has to go inside one folder. Okay, everything has to go inside one folder, give it the proper name, and that's it. And once you've finished, you're going to attach all of these files that you've got to your assignment. You're going to send it to your teacher, or your teacher's going to tell you how to zip it. If you want me to show you, I can show you how to zip it right now. So this is easier because if you're going to attach it to Teams, you need to attach all of them one by one. It's just easier if you zip the file. So to do that, let's say I finished with all of that. I finished with all of that. Here's my web page. I'm going to right click on this. From here, I can go to show more options. Now I've got this thing add to archive, but if you don't have the WinZip, you've got this thing here called send to, and it says compressed zip folder. Click on that and it will generate for you. Now I've got 3, here it is, it's generated it here. And it will generate a folder like this with a zip in the middle, and it's got exactly the same there, and you attach this to your assignment. Okay, that's one file, and what I will do, or your teacher will do, will download it, unzip it, and we'll be able to see your website. Okay, that's it. Good luck with your project, and yeah, start making your web page or website. Take care. Bye bye.